Okay, so I am about 6.5 weeks post explant, and it's like one of those knock on wood things. So I'm gonna knock on wood. Hold on, because I haven't talked about this. Wait, is it? Okay, good. Because I'm afraid to talk about it. Like, honestly, the last 3 days, I have been wide awake. I don't know if you can see my eyes and my face, but I've been wide awake. I wake up and I don't know how to explain it. I think I've tried really hard not to look too deeply into it day to day and just let kind of the energy flow. I'm walking to the beach. Yeah, I'm trying not to think too much about it because I don't want to jinx myself, I guess, or shift energy. But it's been incredible where I am, like, everything feels more brilliant and more bright outside. When I look out the window, and I haven't thought about sleeping in 3 days. Usually I get up in the morning, I do a few things, and my body just kind of collapses and I start thinking about sleeping. And that's what gets me through the rest of the day. And that in itself has become such a depressant to feel this energy of wanting to sleep all the time. So I was lucky enough to come to Costa Rica. I lived here for 10 years. I moved back to the States 3 years ago. But anyway, I lived in Costa Rica for 10 years, and here's the beach. I just got here. But anyway, I moved here and, tapped into a lot of resources. And so during my healing journey, I have encountered a lot of fear. And it's been really tricky to navigate because I was so afraid of never feeling well again. And when I had my implants removed, I didn't feel better immediately. And so many people post they feel so good and things are great. And, I did feel good a little bit, but also I was on painkillers and anesthesia and all sorts of things kind of in dreamland. So I wondered for myself if that's why I felt good. And I think that had something to do with it. When you take pain medication, you feel good. And if it doesn't make you nauseous. So anyway, I was hesitant to post how well I felt because I had a feeling something might shift, and it did. And I weaned myself off the painkillers because I really did need them. It was extremely painful for me. It was really painful. I don't think I really started to feel comfortable until about 3.5 weeks post-op, to be honest. And I've been in this space of watching and waiting, and that wasn't very helpful for me. So I shifted to a different place of prayer. So I try to direct my energy away from fear and bring it to a space of prayer. And instead of being fearful, one moment, sit. I'm telling this little dog to sit, so she'll come with me. Sit. Okay. Anyway, instead of being fearful about my illness, which is what I perceived it as, I started to ask for healing. And so I would take these long walks on the beach, and I would put it out there that I wanted to heal. This is what I want. This is what I'm manifesting. I want to feel better. And I started shooting these rockets of desire, as Abraham Hicks would put it, if any of you have listened to her. out there into the universe, of not being fearful of what afflictions came upon me due to these implants and my future, because when you don't feel well, you don't feel like you have a future, or your future is going to look like illness. So instead, I started to put out there that I am asking for healing, and I am starting to let go of the chronic thinking mind, the monkey mind they call it, analyzing every single thing. And so I started to give myself a lot of distractions instead of just watching everything that was happening with my body. It's a practice every single day. So what I've done is I listen to podcasts. I listen to Oprah Winfrey Super Soul Sunday. I listen to Abraham Hicks. I listen to Sarah Brock. This has been my help, and it's a really good distraction for the mind. So after I listen to these special ladies, it really quiets my mind, and I'm able to come back to my center and move myself away from fear. And then the next thing I do after that, after I kind of get distracted, is I go to my breath and I breathe. I do a breathing exercise for, about 6 or 7 minutes. And then I get grounded in my body. I feel my feet. I feel my arms, my legs. I associate my mind with what is working, not with what is broken. So it seems like, I was really focusing on what was broken and not focusing on what was well. I couldn't see through the woods of the brokenness and the sickness. So I started to focus on what was well. And I started to soften, and I started to breathe, and I started to invite a new energy into my being. And that's been really powerful. I'm trying to think what else. So I'll put some more thoughts together later, but I just wanted to share that with you all. It's a really fearful place, and it's really a place where you can become a victim of your circumstances, and you get lost in these woods because you don't have the focus, you don't have the mental fortitude to really resolve and understand what's happening. At least that's how I felt. And I know that I've gone outside of myself for so many answers. And what I realized is one of the first steps to this entire journey was going inside and listening to myself, right? We've all been told we're crazy because we don't feel well, and we think it's due to our implants. So that's the first step. And it's so important. So I think staying with that, thank you, doctor, for taking these out. Thank you, nurses. Thank you, anesthesiologists. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then coming back home, and just listening to what's next. Because just because your implants are out doesn't mean the journey is over. It's this way of thinking that we've gotten ourselves into. It's this drum we've been beating, this drum of sickness. And for many of us, it's not overnight fix to have his implants out. The symptoms continue, and we have to soften. So I really want to emphasize that. You are a being, and you are beautiful, and more importantly, you are loved. You are loved, and know that, and you're supported, and you're held. Once you realize that, and can wake up in the morning and go, I am loved, I am held, I am from light. Let this light shine on me. until we can do that, instead of waking up in the morning and saying, I'm broken, I'm sick, I don't feel well, I need somebody to save me, we have to flip the dialogue around. So I guess the best advice I could give right now at this time is just come home to yourself, find your strength. You've come this far. Keep gathering it and be patient. But in the meantime, notice what's happening while you're being patient. Notice where your mind is going. Are you getting sucked into negativity? Or are you taking control of your thoughts and giving yourself the little proverbial binky? Like just soothing yourself. Like find a binky. Like I'm always like, why do people take binkies and babas away from the babies, man? They fucking love those. Like I never took them away from my kids. I was like, I want one of those. So find your binky, find your pacifier. Pacify the time away while you're healing. Just look to a better thought. If you're thinking something terrible is going to happen, reach for something higher than that. That is the reality you are creating, even though our circumstances feel super bleak. I swear, it's what I've been doing. I've been practicing it hardcore on the beaches of Costa Rica. Lucky enough, blessed enough to be here tonight. And soften and breathe from your heart space and feel your body, feel what is working right now. It's hard. This is not easy. It's one of the hardest things I've had to do. And also contemplating what's next if you're not feeling completely satisfied with how your breasts look. I think I've done that at the same time as I've been healing, and that was a bad mistake. So now I'm moving towards, you know what? I'm not gonna feel pushed to solve this right away. I'm just going to wait, and I want to see the longevity of my healing and make sure my body's strong enough before I do anything else. Nothing has to be perfect. These little girls, here they are. They're just these little girls. They're just little. I know they might look, I don't know, they don't look that big, but they're just little girls. You know, they're fine. There's no hurry. Be the only one who sees them if that makes you feel comfortable. You know, talk to your husband, tell him how you feel, or your boyfriend, or whoever, if you have to show them. I'm sort of like, do not disturb, closed, no entrance. You know, and that's okay. They can feel them from the outside. They feel different than they look. So, take time. Just give yourself time and love and patience and kindness. You know, everything that we probably don't get on the outside, let's bring it into ourselves. And man, I'm telling you, it's brilliant right now how I feel. And I've been waiting for it. But it wasn't until I shifted my perspective that it came. And I'm not going to give up now. I'm not going to stop doing what I was doing. I'm going to keep doing it because I have a long way to go. I know it. So anyway, ladies, stay strong, stay tough, and thanks for loving each other. Thanks for loving yourself enough to sacrifice so much, right? Yeah. Okay.